setting those boundaries in business, you're right. It's easier because it's like, you're not going to mess up my livelihood. But then in the same token, like, you'll see these like beautiful women or, you know, handsome men that they're doing great business. But then when you look at their personal life, they let somebody abuse them or cheat on them, or, you know what I'm saying? You see
Most
that all the
definitely.
time. And I
Yeah.
be like, you're such a boss. Everybody's so inspired by you. Why are you letting these things happen behind the scenes?
Rob to riches. We got robbed, now we got riches.
Welcome to another episode of Rob to Riches. Today we have the beautiful and elegant Renete. Introduce yourself. Tell them who you are.
Hi guys, I am Renate Washington. I am Mrs. Issues to Solutions. I'm the illest hood therapist out in these streets. I'm proud of that. And so I'm here today to share knowledge, to share my experiences, hoping that it helps somebody.
I love that. We got introduced to each other at Danae's event. What was that? Last year? 2021 or 2022?
Might have been 21, honestly.
21, yeah, at her event, and I thought you were so cool. I didn't even know you was her. I thought you was her sister because you were just so
Everybody,
cool,
she
down
hates
to
it.
earth, and a vibe. I was like, I like Miss Renate. And then you came inside of the posse and spoke about, you know, therapy and just triggers, and we was in there crying. We was in there toe up because I don't think a lot of us realize, like, we're not setting boundaries as business owners, and that's even with personal life and like with our team. You know, we're not setting any boundaries, and we didn't know like what our trigger points was, and you kind of helped us uncover those things. What's been going on since then?
Oh my gosh. Since that time, I just completed my first year in my doctoral program. So everybody's been calling me Dr. Washington for years. And so now it's going to be official.
Right.
I have 2 more years left in acquiring that. And of course, hired more people on my team. So more up and coming therapists, which is an ultimate blessing. I've been writing more and then writing for other people as well, because I do feel that sometimes you have to put things on paper for the longevity of it, and so that other people can have a pink print.
Yeah. Hello.
Okay. A pink print on what needs to be done to get to where I need to go, and then how do I become the person that I need to be to achieve the goal? Because a lot of people chase the goal, but they forget the process. Are you the person to achieve the goal, or do you need to elevate? Do you need to evolve to get to your goal? So that's what I'm working on now.
That's been like a running theme of the whole podcast, is just people understanding what it really takes to be an entrepreneur and to reach the success that you want to see for yourself, because they forget that process part. They forget, like, you have to actually be developed to be the person who can actually obtain the end goal of the things. What are some of the key points of like that development part? Like, what should we be doing for self-development?
I think the first thing that everybody needs to do is get into a zone where you are becoming more self-aware. Understand who you are, understand what you bring to the table, understand your likes, the dislikes. What am I comfortable with? What am I uncomfortable with? What are the things that I've accepted that I can no longer accept, in reference to what you said about boundaries?
Right.
Am I creating boundaries that are beneficial to me, or am I creating boundaries that kind of put me in a box, and so I can't really make any moves, I can't do anything for myself because I've boxed myself in trying to manage what other people may or may not do. Exactly. Definitely expectations, because some people's expectations are unrealistic. Because if you think you're going to open a business today and be a millionaire, your name is not Super Cent. She didn't start that day. She started like 10 years before that. And I think social media just gives people a falsehood of what it looks like. It's a fairy tale. Social media for me is a fairy tale.
Yeah.
Literally.
What was like one of the moments in your life where you had to be like, okay, let me do some self-reflection, because this is not the path. I'm being unrealistic with myself.
Oh my God, that was when we lived in Florida. I was being very unrealistic. As a single parent, you are it. You are everything.
Yeah.
And you figure out quickly that sometimes you're going to have to do a lot of things on your own. And so that's the mindset that I had for a long time. Like, I'm going to do this on my own. Nobody is helping me. I'm not going to ask for help. I'll figure it out, and I'll take whatever blows come as I'm figuring it out. But when it came to business, taking those blows meant I'm losing money.
Hello.
Taking blows meant that I'm overstepping and doing things for people and then I'm not getting it reciprocated. Taking those blows meant that I'm losing sleep. I'm not even remembering if I ate today. I don't even remember, like, did I check in with my kids today to make sure that they didn't die today? Like, and so just doing all the things and trying to be everything.
Right.
And then it also creates procrastination because there were things that I wanted to do years ago that I didn't get accomplished because it was so overwhelming. And so I ended up doing absolutely nothing.
I struggle with that too. Whenever there's like a big goal that I'm trying to reach, I'll think in my head, okay, what are all the things I have to do? Plan it out, map it out, and then I like take forever to actually do it because I'm like, dang, that's a lot to do.
Yeah.
I be like, that's a lot to do. And I feel like that hinders so many people of just looking at that mountain hill and being like, how am I going to get up that hill?
Exactly.
And I think like what you were saying, for me, that of like, I'm just going to do it my own. For me, that was hard-headedness. Like when I was growing up, I was so hard-headed and I didn't want nobody's help because I was always like, oh, if they could do it, I could do it too. Or I could do that better than them. Like it was, but to me, now that I look at it, I was like, I was just so hard-headed. And it made me bump my head so many more times than I needed to.
Yeah.
If I was just to be like, look, I actually want somebody to show me how to do this before I just jump into it.
Yeah. I just didn't trust people.
Yes, that's the...
Because I grew up learning quickly not to trust people.
What happened?
My lifestyle, I don't front to anybody. My mother was a young mom, same as I. I think my adopted mom got me, I was 6 months or 6 months old. She actually lived right next door to my bio grandparents. And so not having connection to your family, not having connections to the people who birth you, who are supposed to be supportive and protect you and care and give you all the things that are ice cream and cake. It changes really how you interact with other people. It changed how I even interacted with myself and not allowing myself to really trust people. It really became a sequence of, if I can't get anything from this, why am I linking up with you? Yeah. Like, you're not bringing anything to the table. And it always had to be, they had to be bringing something. And then the other flip side to that is seeking something. And so when seeking, and you really don't even know what it is that you're looking for, you find a lot of shit. Right. Can I curse? Because I curse.
You can curse.
Okay.
This is Netflix. We can curse on Netflix.
Okay. Because you will find a lot of shit when you're looking. Yeah. When you're looking and you don't have purpose. When you're looking and you don't have insight. When you're looking, you don't have direction. When you're looking and you don't even know yourself what you need. There'll be a lot of shit that comes in between. And you will think that that's it right there. Right. And you will latch onto it. And then it'll burn you. And then what it teaches you is the lesson of, okay, well, I can't do that, but I'm going to go do the next dumb shit. Right. Long as it's not that, I can go do the next thing. And so then you can also get into a cycle where I'm doing all of these things that are not right, but I don't see them as the same because they're so different in the situation. Right. But bottom line, it is the same. Yeah. It's because you don't have that self-awareness. You don't even trust yourself. So if I don't trust me, how am I going to trust anybody else? How am I going to trust my choices? How am I going to trust my decisions?
Say that word. I just was saying this on the last episode. I was like, you first, in order to trust your own intuition, you have to trust your own word. When you say you're going to do something for yourself, you have to do that because that is what will build, your sustainability in life, your decision making. Because okay, if I wouldn't do that to me, I wouldn't allow somebody else to do that to me. But you're going to allow somebody else to do it if you sometimes do it to yourself.
Most definitely.
Setting them boundaries.
Most definitely. It's everything.
It really is. I'm still struggling with that.
We all do. We all do.
I have a hard time with that because I feel like the way my mom raised me, they're calling it now, what is it, like when parents don't beat their kids, they're calling it
soft parenting.
Soft parent. My mom was soft parenting before it was like a whole thing. My mom never whooped us as kids, but I also felt comfortable trying my mom in certain ways. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew it wasn't going to be like a consequence that would hurt me. And so like now when people set boundaries with me, it kind of made me feel away. And then I don't set boundaries with them because I don't want to make them feel how I feel when people set boundaries. Like, and I don't know, I'm trying to figure out how to kind of undo that because I want to be able to tell people like, hey, I don't like when you do that to me. Or like, hey, don't do this again. Or like when people tell me, I want to be able to respect it. Because I be like, you good. Like, it's straight. Don't worry about it. I want to be able to respect other people's boundaries. But I don't have that yet.
Yeah, but the thing to boundaries, what I teach people is boundaries are not to shut people out by any means. Boundaries are to teach people how you want to be treated. So you got to first put boundaries on yourself, and I'm real adamant. That's why anybody who knows me for real in real life knows that I say I'm not linking up with anything weak. That's not to be disrespectful. That's not to belittle anybody because I can't link up
Right.
with anything that's weak. And the weakness is if you don't have those boundaries, if you don't have a level of respect, if you are not a person who is honorable, I cannot. If you're not a person who is even truthful to yourself, and like you stated, am I even truthful to myself? So I
Right.
can't do it. So boundaries teach people how we want to be treated, but we got to first put those boundaries on ourselves. So I have boundaries on my time, on my money, on my social life,
Mm-hmm.
on a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's to keep me in check and it's to keep
Right.
me accountable to me.
Right.
What is it that I said that I wanted and how am I getting there?
Right.
How do I want to be treated? How am I going to make sure that I'm being treated that way? I got to first check myself.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, I think that they're checking themselves.
Right.
But when you really, truly, internally get with yourself, you have no choice but to come out changed.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of Rob to Riches. If you're enjoying this speaker on this episode, you can learn from them inside of our mentorship program for women entrepreneurs. You can join today for only $7 for 30 days full access. Just go to our website, www.pinkprintfirm.com. Use the code TRIAL at checkout to join now. The link will be in the description box for you to join today.
It's going to force you to do that. So I had to force myself to do that.
Yeah, that's so true. Because even for me, like when I do set boundaries, it's easier for me to set them in business versus outside of business. Is that a thing?
It is.
Where does that stem
Because
come from?
because in business, most people were getting to the bag.
Right.
We're getting to the money. Anything that can erupt that,
Right.
yeah, I'm checking it quick.
Right. Okay.
I'm not playing any games.
So you ain't gonna mess up my money.
No, and I
Right.
tell people that because they'll say, "Oh, well, you're a therapist. I'm a human. I got a lifestyle that I live.
Right.
I have children who are grown and making good money, but they still need mom and they still need stuff from
Absolutely.
me. And I have grandchildren who, when they call me, I'm not saying no.
Right.
In order for me to keep that and keep my word, I don't have emotions when it comes to my business.
Yeah.
I've been in a business of emotions,
Right.
but I don't have emotions when it comes to my business.
Your procedures, your operations.
Oh yeah,
it
I
is
don't.
what it
I don't
is.
play, and if you don't do it accordingly, I have no issues with separating, and
Yeah.
not separating in a way that I'm trying to hurt anyone, but separating in the way again so that I can stay true to me, so I can stay
Yeah.
true to the validity of what my business is.
Right.
Like I work with real people; they're not artificial intelligence. They're not robots. They're not. They are real people
Right.
who are seeking help, and I have to make sure whatever I present to them is top tier because that's what I would want for myself if I had to go to somebody. So
Absolutely.
I'm serious from the time they answer the phone
Yeah.
at my business until the time they actually come into my office. I'm very serious about all of that and how it flows because
Yeah.
it matters.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've learned a lot that how you treat people, how you make them feel is what lasts. That's what
Yeah.
makes people feel impacted and seen and heard. It's like how you really make them feel, how you greet them and love on them when they're around you.
Yeah.
That stuff definitely matters. And I feel like for me too, with like setting those boundaries in business, you're right. It's easier because it's like you're not gonna mess up my livelihood.
Mm-mm.
But then in the same token, like you'll see these like beautiful women or handsome men that they're doing great business, but then when you look at their personal life, they let somebody abuse them or cheat on them or you know what I'm saying? You see
Most
that all
definitely.
the time. And I
Yeah.
be like, you're such a boss. Everybody's so inspired by you. Why are you letting these things happen behind the scenes?
Because most people are going to shine where they are good. So if I'm fabulous in doing business, I'm shining in my
Right.
business. The business is going to be flawless. Everybody's going to like it. Everybody's going to want to engage with me. The business is going to be the business.
Right.
Because now I'm going to put 100% over here because whatever's
This
happening
is-
in my personal, chaotic or unhealthy, unhappy, whatever that looks like, I'm not putting a lot of energy over there because that's work over there.
Right.
So I'm going to shine where I shine at. And that's what a lot of people do. I mean, I've been there.
What
Like
did that look like when you was going through it? Like
crazy, like you said, crazy because my business is flowing. I'm flying everywhere. I'm doing assessments for the military. Like I'm not paying for shit. I'm just
right.
out here living, working. Outside, of course, everybody's like, "Oh man, that's what it is."
Mm-hmm.
But then got my husband on the backside saying, "Hey, are we roommates now? Because I don't know what's happening.
Mm.
Like you're gone at least twice every weekend. You're leaving home at 7 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Not coming home to 7 p.m., 8 p.m. What are we doing?
Right.
What are we
Mm.
doing? What does this look like?" And I'm like, you know what? I'll get back to you. I got a trip this weekend. You see what I'm saying? Because sometimes when the money is flowing, baby, I'm out there like the water.
Yeah.
I'm really a river out here because the money was flowing.
Right.
Literally. Easy.
Did y'all make it through that?
Most
point?
definitely. We still
Okay, y'all
together.
still together?
For sure.
Okay. How did y'all come through that? Because, I don't have kids and I'm not married, but I've been really considering what I want my life to look like in the next, 5-10 years. And so I'm really trying to decide, okay, right now I'm traveling, the money is going and I want to keep up and I want to keep doing what I'm doing. And I'm trying to figure out how am I going to integrate a husband and kids and family life. And I want to see, like, how did that transition happen for y'all between you working all the time and then having to,
Having the difficult conversations and not being afraid to have those conversations with love.
Mm.
Because
Yeah.
what is it that you need from me?
Yeah.
And then figuring out how do we compromise? Because again, when he met me, I mean, I was a single mom with 3 kids. I am the alpha dog. I am the CEO. I am the one with the power. And so sometimes not wanting to, I guess, for the lack of a better word, relinquish that or feel that you're relinquishing that.
Yeah.
I was really married and operating like I was single.
Mm.
Because I'm still doing all the things because that's what I was accustomed to doing. Something go wrong, I'm there.
Right.
Something pop off, I already popped yesterday, I'm there.
Right.
My kids say something, I'm there. These people calling me, okay, I need to be there.
Right.
And so I had to just come to the realization of vice versa, how would I feel?
Right.
What would I want him to do if I said, hey, I need us to spend more time, and then he tells me, oh, okay, but I got a trip this weekend.
Right.
What does that look like for me? So sometimes you do have to start looking at it from somebody else's perspective and then taking the time to just sit back and say, damn, okay. Because I am that person too, who when you say something, I can overtalk you, out-talk you, and get loud.
Right.
Like I'm slick with it. But I had to say, does that make sense?
Right. Were y'all ever on the verge of breaking up?
Yes. Yes.
And do you feel like it was because you were operating in your alpha dog status?
I feel like it's because I didn't know what a healthy relationship looked like. Again, the trust factor.
Right.
Not having a full
Like that family.
definitive of literally what is family, what is love. And I didn't have my own definitions of that. I really did not. And so it almost was like I'm protecting me.
Right.
So my protecting me means that you can't get close to me. I'm not going to allow you to. And so it's a different thing going from being single for a long time, doing what you want, when you want, when you want, how you want, to now, oh, let me ask him, like, do we have plans this weekend? Before somebody calls and I just say, yeah, I can do it. Because a lot of the times for me, and I'm only speaking for me, okay, ladies, it felt like I'm asking for permission when I've never had to ask anybody for anything to do anything. You know what I mean? Literally, even like as a kid, like I'm come home from school, I'm out, boom, I'm hanging out. Not really having to be accountable for another person in that way.
Right.
Accountable as a mom to my kids, most definitely, but not for a man. And 2, you got to think about your upbringing. See what I'm saying? Rest in heaven to both my grandparents. My grandmother never worked a day in her life.
Right.
My grandfather did all the work, but all the money went to my grandmother.
Right.
Rest in peace to my dad as well. He did all the work. The money went to
his wife,
my mom. You see what I'm saying? And so in that, I'm like, oh, bam, so I really don't have to do a lot. He just need to go to work and bring me the money.
Right.
And that is not what happened. So then I'm like, oh, okay, this is a different narrative.
Right. Than what you knew. And so
Totally
now it's
different.
like, okay, if I gotta go get the bacon, then
Yeah, because if you're not gonna come in and just work and give me the money, oh, I still gotta work. And so that's what I'm gonna be doing, but not really understanding, have the conversations. What does it look like for me in a
Right.
relationship? Who am I in this relationship? I know who I am without it.
Right.
'Cause I've been that for years.
Right.
But who am I now in a relationship?
I never consider all of these things that you're talking to me about right now.
I didn't consider it until my ass was in the storm.
Right, that's what I'm saying, and I feel like that's when we do consider it. Like,
Most
usually
definitely.
we're not mapping out all of these things before we're deciding who we want to choose as a partner or who we want to be as a partner. You know, we're just jumping up and going and doing stuff. And I think it's the same in business. People just be jumping up, starting businesses that they never even did the research for, never even figured out how much they would have to spend. And especially, like you said, being a successful woman in my own right and already kind of having my flow, I've been by myself for years. You know what I'm saying? Like, doing me, paying for my own stuff, doing my own thing. So to allow somebody to come in, it's something I gotta really consider and figure out who do I want to be in that.
Yeah, it's an adjustment. And then that's when you got to get real with yourself. For real. Does this person understand that I am a boss?
Right.
And it doesn't emasculate you.
Right.
It doesn't take anything from your manhood for me to be out here making 6-7 figures.
Right.
It doesn't. Literally.
You've heard the narrative of like masculine woman and feminine woman?
Oh.
What's your thoughts?
I'm masculine and I'm rah-rah when I need to be.
What's the definition difference?
To me, when people say that you're being masculine, it's like you're exhuming a male's behaviors. I can't exhume a male's behavior because I'm not male. I have a female brain. That's why when I first heard that book, Think Like a Man, Act Like a Woman, whatever it's called, I'm like, how the hell are we going to do that? Mm-hmm. We can't think like a man. We're not men. But because I am outspoken, because I am going to ask questions, because I am going to advocate for the best for myself and the people who are attached to me, doesn't mean then that I'm masculine or that I have a masculine mentality. That means I care about myself enough to say, hey, this is how you're going to treat me. Mm-hmm. You're going to recognize that I'm 100% woman with a clear brain that functions and has the capacity to make decisions. I'm not telling you what to do, but we are going to talk about it. Right. And we're going to make the best decision for us, because if you are with somebody, it is us. Mm-hmm. And so, too, in mannerisms, I've heard people talk about people's mannerisms. Oh, well, you know, they buck up like they'll do. It's women out here who fight just like that. And then go put on the dress and go to the club and twerk. You see what I'm saying? But you don't know if this young lady grew up having to fight men off of her.
Hello.
You don't know if this young lady grew up having to fight her father, having to fight her brothers, having to help, maybe helping her brother to fight. Right. You don't know people's background. And so for me, I hate buzzwords. I hate soft life. I do. I hate, oh, you're not vulnerable enough. Because what does it really mean? And most people can't even tell you the definition. To be truthful with you, because originally soft life meant luxury, taking trips, buying designer, right? Whoever turned it around and said, no, let's turn soft life into just living healthy and well-being. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So people grab on and gravitate the shit quick and don't even have the full understanding. And that's another reason why I say I can't link up with anything weak. Because how I talk, a lot of people, oh my God, you're so aggressive. How are you a therapist? Because I went to school, goddammit, for 8 whole years.
Let them know.
I went to school for 8 whole years, did 2 years of residency, passed my exam first try, and that's how. Period. Because I'm here to help people. So my voice shouldn't bother you, because now you focus on the wrong thing. And a lot of people, to me, they focus on the wrong things.
Absolutely.
Literally. I done seen plenty of people walk out the store with Louis everything on and get into a damn hatchback. I'm like, you ain't got no hubcaps? But people focus on the wrong thing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm just telling the truth of what I see. I don't know where y'all be at in the streets, but I be out in the streets.
Well, I'm gonna tell the truth every time.
And so I try to be honest with people. Sometimes you miss out on blessings because you're focused on small shit. Things that don't even matter in the long run. You know what I mean? Most women, when they see you, and I'm gonna put this out in the streets for y'all, okay? They'll run from you. They will. Because you exude confidence. Literally. Did I not come up to you? You didn't come up to me.
Yeah,
I came up to you.
said it.
And I said to you,
whatever you're doing,
keep doing it.
That's what you said.
Because that's it.
I remember that.
Most women won't do that because of their own insecurities and their own fears. But I loved it from the door. I'm like, okay, she is fly as hell. And I'm going to let her know that you are killing it and keep doing it.
That part.
Most women won't do that, though. They'll see you and exactly. So don't transfer. Don't push your shit over here because I'm going to slap it right back in your face. Those are your insecurities. That's how you feel. Those are your thoughts. None of that belongs to me, and I don't accept it. But that's the piece that a lot of people can't handle.
No, that's the truth. But I think that's also why we have like trouble building these relationships and being in genuine friendships with other women. You know, you've heard the stereotypes of, oh, I can't be with women and I can't trust these women and they be doing this, that, and the third. But I really do believe you attract what you are.
All day.
Yeah, you be attracting what you are for real. And so if you constantly are seeing that people are taking advantage of you or, you know, just being deceitful, you might have to do some inner work.
You do. Because it's on you at the end of the day. Nobody's going to mistreat me unless I allow you to do so. And I'm not allowing anybody to do that. And if I even sense it slightly,
it's a cutoff.
It's a definite cutoff. And I'm fair in it as well. Because I'm quick to ask somebody, what's your perception of me? What do you think of me?
Right.
Because it can't be nothing that's positive based on how you're treating me. So now we got to have a different conversation. But most people don't want to have those conversations with me.
I never thought to ask people that.
I ask them in a heartbeat. Especially if they're treating me funny. If they treating me funny, oh yeah, hey, what's your perception of me?
Right.
Because I want to know.
Clear. Yeah, let's get clear so we got to understand it. Because however this is moving,
yeah, we can't do it.
Keep going like this.
And you got to think about that. How people perceive you, 8 out of 10 is how they're going to treat you.
No, that's a fact.
I perceived you when I saw you as a queen.
Yeah.
And that's how I treated you.
Yeah. I never thought to ask that. I'm going to incorporate that.
Yeah, and if you get with anybody, ask them that too.
Yeah.
Hey, what's your perception of me? Because I had to ask my husband that straight up. Hey, what's your perception of me? Like, because I want to know.
I like that. I'm going to ask my man tonight.
Yeah, fuck him up with it. Okay?
I love that. We always be having the good combos. Yeah. I want you to like come inside the posse and be like our monthly therapist. We be needing it. Because in business, we be going through so much stuff. And like we said, it's so easy to be like that hard boss girl out in the world. But then once you get back by yourself and you dealing with that stuff in life that you really going through, you know, your mama getting cancer or your boyfriend, you know, abusing you or just, you know, death or grief, all the stuff we be really going through, it's like we be needing that consistent outlet.
Yeah, and I tell people the truth about therapy. We're licensed to diagnose, but diagnosing is not the first thing that I care about. I care about, hey, are you eating? Are your lights on? Are you able to pay your bills? Because as a human, if I can't even get the basics of what I need, me trying to be a therapist with somebody is stupid.
Yeah.
It is. And so coming into therapy allows people the freedom to say things that they may not have ever said to anybody. And that's freedom.
Absolutely.
That's complete freedom. And then you're saying it in a realm where by law, I can't share it with anybody.
Right.
And I've never been sued and I don't want to be sued. So I'm not going to share it, like just off GP, you know. But therapy allows people to come in and say, you know what? Here it is. It's messy, it's dirty, or it's clean and it's happy. Because everybody doesn't come to therapy because something is wrong. Right. Some people come in just to say, hey, this is the things that I'm doing. I just want to make sure I'm still moving on the right track. And I think that's okay. And I tell people, you go to the dentist, twice a year. You get a mammogram. You get prostate check if you're a man. You go to your OBGYN. It's a lot of things that we do health-wise, physical. But your mind is the most powerful thing that you have. So why are you not checking on that?
That part.
My mind was fucked up.
I love that.
For a long time. It took another black female to tell me straight up, you're your own worst enemy. Straight up told me that to my face.
No, mine too. When I was first going to therapy, I was like, after probably like 2 months, I went to her and I was like, okay, so when am I gonna be fixed? Like I straight was like, when am I gonna be fixed? When am I gonna be healed? And she was like, you're gonna be healed when you start being real and start letting it out. Because at first I wasn't putting it all out on the table. And that day when she said that, I was like, okay. this is what happened.
Most people do that though. You know how many people come to me
And try
and
to keep
then
it cute.
weeks later they'll say, look, I'm tired of lying to you. And I tell them the truth. I don't have any magic power.
Right.
I'm not Harry Potter. So if you come in here and you tell me a lie, then I'm helping you with a lie.
Right.
But you're hurting yourself. You're not hurting me because I'm going to get the $150 an hour.
I'm getting paid regardless.
I'm going to get the $150 an hour. So you
No,
make
that's a
it
fact.
what you need to make it for you.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to be helping you then to work on a lie. And so weeks later, sometimes people will say, I've been lying. This is, like you said, this is what
I
it
was
is.
not telling the full story.
These are my challenges.
Yeah.
These are my goals that I want. And then it works.
Yeah. I already know. I'm glad we got to have this conversation today because so many people need that real understanding of what it takes and what's necessary to keep going.
But you guys can find me on Google. What they say, Google me, baby. Or you can find me on Facebook, Refined Beginnings. You can find me on Instagram as well as Refined Beginnings. The website is refinedbeginningscounseling.com. Link up with me. I have other therapists because I may not be the person for you. That's perfectly fine. But reach out to us. You can contact me if you want through Storm. I'm here for it. I support the community and I support Storm like 10,000%.
I love that. Thanks for watching another episode of Rob to Riches.
Rob to riches.